This is why you must start a business in 2026. You have to start a business in 2026. The number one reason is that it's now or never, bro. The economy is only going to get worse. Life is only going to get more expensive. Every year, everything rises. And guess what must rise with it? Your fucking income. Because if you stay at a low income, you're just going to live a shitty life. 100K a year isn't even enough anymore, bro. Like, you need to make 200K a year. You need to make 300, 400, 500. You need to make hella money, bro. You need to start this business now, bro. You need to start now. Because it's literally now or never, bro. It's now or never, bro. The longer you wait to start that business, the longer you wait to bring that idea you have to life, the more likelihood it'll never happen. Things are only going to get way worse before they get better. So put in the time now and fucking risk it all, bro. Grab yourself by the balls and put yourself on the line, bro. That's how you gotta do it nowadays, bro. You can't take no traditional route and expect to win. You must risk it. You must risk it, bro. College ain't gonna cut it. Living safely ain't gonna cut it no more, bro. If you play it safe, you're just gonna live paycheck to paycheck, and that's probably one of the worst existence of all time. And bro, leverage living with your parents, bro. Unless your parents kick you out, leverage it. Use it to your advantage, bro. Live with your parents until you have enough money to either retire them or live on your own. Like, I still live with my parents. I scaled one business, but that wasn't enough for me to retire them and move out. So now I'm scaling another business. But if you're in your early 20s, bro, it's the perfect time to risk it. Perfect time to risk it. Unless your parents kick you out, which is sort of an anomaly. Like, not many parents will kick you out. But, you know, there's people that kick you out at 18, which is kind of fucking shitty. But even if you get kicked out at 18, bro, that doesn't exclude you. You can set some money aside. Maybe if it's only like $25 a week, you can play the slow game because you have to. You were kicked out. You can't dedicate everything to it because you were kicked out. And that's quite an unfortunate situation, but it's the one you were given and you must deal with. Somebody commented in one of my videos. He said, everybody is born with the same controller, and everybody's situation is a little bit different, but we all have the same controller. We all have the same controller. We can all fucking win. Our situations may vary, but that doesn't take away from the fact that we all have the same controller and the ability to win. So I urge you, start that fucking business, bro. Risk it. You're not gonna make it anywhere by playing it fucking safe. Stop being a bitch. And yes, I did just insult you to try to get my point across, which maybe is a little bit, you know, like barbaric. Not the most ideal way of getting a point across. But you guys must understand, you need to have a sense of urgency. You need to have a sense of urgency. The world waits for nobody, and it won't wait for you. If you think the world is gonna wait for you, it's gonna fucking run you over and over and over and over and over again until you're nothing. The world will break you before anything else. That's why you need to grab yourself by the balls and put it all on the line with God by your side, bro. You must have God by your side. And mind you, bro, like, I'm not religious. I'm not like Catholic or anything. I just know there's a higher power out there, bro. Also, in 2026 is also like the easiest time to start a business, right? The barrier to entry is much lower because of all the resources available to us, right? We have AI. We have AI. Like, bro, we have AI. Like, AI has helped me so much in my business. AI has helped my boy scale his YouTube channel. AI has helped me scale my business, my friend's business, everything, bro. AI is such a powerful tool for a business owner or a content creator or whatever it may be. You must leverage AI, bro. I've used AI to create ads. I've used AI to get the copywriting for the ad. I've used AI for so many different things, bro. Help me come up with video ideas. Help me come up with ad ideas. And just a whole bunch of shit, bro. The barrier to entry is so fucking easy or lower. So really, you have no excuse, bro. And you must move with a sense of urgency, like to the point where it drives you crazy, bro. Like, I'm a little bit impatient. I want to win right now. But that's not how life is. I must put in the slow work, the slow and tedious work to have my hard work pay off eventually. Like in my business, the work I put in right now pays off like a month from now, bro. Or 2 months from now. So it is like a little bit of like delayed gratification. But once you get the ball rolling, once that snowball starts rolling down the hill, it's only going to gain in size. And that's why it's important for me to leverage living with my parents. Like, if I didn't live with my parents, I'd have a lot more stress. But I do have a big lump of cash I can fall back on, which is what I'm doing right now. But regardless, it's like you must move with such urgency that it drives you fucking insane, bro. And if you're not insane, then you're doing it wrong. I'm sorry, you're doing it wrong. If this shit doesn't keep you up at night, you're doing it wrong. Though I'm not gonna lie, the thing that was keeping me up at night last night was fucking Arc Raiders, bro. I've been playing Arc Raiders, bro, and this shit just... It's a fun game, but I realized that it takes away the will to win, because you're like simulating the human experience. Well, not really the human experience, but like you're simulating a survival experience on a game, and then when you go into real life, you realize that it's not that fast paced, and so that's a big issue when it comes to video games, that it takes away from your drive to win. Like right now I'm recording this video, right? But I could have been playing Arc Raiders, but then that would fuck up my life, bro. You can't let video games take over. It is a good game, but you can't like let it be your life. You gotta build your life, bro. Like, sure, you can make some time for video games, but you got to build your life. So I've started to train my neck muscles and be more aware of my tongue placement, if that makes sense. It's called mewing. And I've realized that I've got some bad habits where my jaw hangs lower than it should. But training my neck muscles has made me realize that I do have some weaknesses there. I'm not like a looks maxer, bro. Like, I'm not about to hop on peptides and all that shit and start injecting shit into my face. But they do have a valid point when it comes to neck and jaw positioning, or not jaw positioning, tongue positioning, and jaw strength and neck strength. Like, it all correlates. So you should train your neck muscles for sure, and be aware of where your tongue placement is at. It should be at the top of your mouth. Now, I'm not saying go extreme with this shit, but definitely take it into account. I've said this before, but there's always something you can learn from these extremist trends, right? Like look maxing, you can take it to the extreme. and it can ruin your life, and then it can ruin your self-esteem, but you can gain something from it. Now imagine all that you will gain from becoming a business owner. Imagine the character you will build by building businesses, dude. By getting to the bag. It'll be glorious, and I urge you to do it. I hope that this video pushes you to put it on the line, bro, because if you don't, you're gonna be average. You're gonna be average, and your life is gonna suck. Unfortunately. It's very unfortunate, but that's the world we live in. A man is deemed worthy by what he brings to the table. If you don't bring shit to the table, you're a fucking bum, bro. In the eyes of the world. Obviously, like, your life is valuable within itself, but to the world, you're nothing if you provide nothing. You know, women by nature, they bring value, they can reproduce, but men, it's in our nature to build something so that we can harbor people, if that makes sense. You need to build an environment that harbors others. You need to build an environment that attracts other people to you. Because if not, you're going to be a fucking lonely ass nigga. And hold on. We on a hill, boys. We on a hill. And it's just a miserable experience if you go that route. And so hopefully this video inspires you to chase something greater than you have been. Because, bro, like, I was there, bro. And I'm still kind of there. Like, I'm still working hard to make it out of my position. But there was a time where I was working 40 hours a week at Walmart, near a ghetto-ass town, dealing with ghetto-ass motherfuckers, rude-ass niggas that wanted to fight you over the simplest thing. And you had to keep your mouth shut because you didn't want to lose your job. You got to think about the income. You got to think about paying off your debt, which was my situation. I was paying off my debt, trying to fix my credit so then I could leverage business credit. And these are things you got to deal with. Like, I was doing Uber Eats for a couple years, and I was putting so much wear and tear on this car. Like, I got this car at 208,000 miles, right? I'm at 240. 20 to 30,000 of those miles were purely Uber Eats, bro. And with that, there was so much wear and tear that I had to fix. And so staying afloat by just doing Uber Eats on an old car, like, bro, think about that. I was doing Uber Eats on an old car where things go wrong, where the suspension is worn out. Not ideal. Not ideal. But I was doing Uber Eats in the pandemic in 2020. That's when that shit was busting. And then it just started going downhill and downhill and downhill because the demand wasn't as high. But back in 2020, bro, that shit was crazy. Right? So that was my situation. My credit was fucked up. And I was working these shit jobs to fix my credit. And then I started to leverage business credit to scale my Amazon business. Then I was able to quit my full-time job and do Amazon full-time. And then I was able to close my store down. And now I'm doing credit repair full-time. Well, not credit repair. I'm doing funding is the main thing. But credit repair and credit building is what is needed at times for clients. So I'm doing that too. But that was because of positioning myself to be able to do this. And yeah, right now my business only made $700 last month. But like I said, that snowball is going to start to get bigger. Like, I have a client right now that I'm working on funding. Have 2-3 clients that are ready for funding. And when I say funding, like, that's going to get me a few grand profit. and then the snowball will just keep on rolling down the hill. So make sure you guys risk it. Get to the bag. Best of luck to you.